All right, just making sure all the sound is Gucci before I get going here. Some breaking news, guys. Breaking news. So I just got a call from a good friend of mine who said that he saw something very strange in the skies of Los Angeles. Now, might sound a little goofy if you don't live here, but Los Angeles is the #1 county in the United States for UFO reports. And he was out filming with some of his buddies, some drone footage, and they caught 6 UFOs flying in formation across the sky. So he's going to try to get that footage to me because, as you well know, if you're one of my subscribers, I like to share UFO footage and documentaries about anything paranormal. Certainly cover the UFO topic a lot, so I thought I wanted to share that with you guys. Pretty interesting stuff. He said they were flying in formation. It was 6 UFOs, and that they were just standing still in the sky for the longest time and then started to move eastward. So if you live in Los Angeles and you catch this, if you catch anything on footage, please send it in to Strange TV. You can send it to our email, strangetv@protonmail.com. Like I said, this is exclusive, Strange TV exclusive. You're not going to hear this anywhere else first. And you would think, oh, Los Angeles, that's a busy city area. If there's going to be UFO sightings, that's going to be reported on. No, not at all. The news doesn't cover this stuff. The news doesn't go anywhere near this stuff. And there are sightings all the time. You just have to check YouTube. There's plenty of legitimate, hey, we don't know what we saw, but there's something strange going on. To me, if you have multiple lights in the sky, yeah, you could always be like, oh, they're drones or whatever. But there's plenty of instances where it's like, okay, these things are not behaving like the best drones that are out there right now. So if you happen to see this, witness it, the date is December 18th, 2022. The time when my friend called me was around 4:30 or 4:15 to 4:20. So yeah, 4:20, no. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. I think that because he's seen him before, I've seen him before. Even in the different areas of Los Angeles that we both live, and I wanted to share that with you guys, my subscribers, and hopefully new people as well, because I think that's pretty freaking interesting. They're out here all the time, whatever the phenomenon is. Because I'm not a big aliens guy, but obviously there's something behind the phenomenon, and it's not all nuts and bolts always. Kind of craft that we're dealing with. You see light phenomenon, orbs, all kinds of weird stuff, and I can't stress, like, I don't try to sell the sci-fi element of it at all. I think whatever it is a genuine mystery. Who knows? I mean, there's plenty of reports going back throughout time. Maybe we're dealing with something that's always been with us. Like a lot of people seem to think, researchers like Jacques Vallée seem to think that there's something stretching back into religion and folklore itself that is repeating throughout time that we're dealing with here. So I don't know, but it's pretty interesting. For those just tuning in, Strange TV. I got a call from a buddy of mine who lives in another part of Los Angeles, and he said that he saw they were out filming with drone video, getting drone video footage, and they caught 6 UFOs flying across the sky in formation, and they were hanging around for at least 10 minutes. He had enough time to call me, and he's like, no, they're still there. I ran outside trying to see them, but I think I'm too far away from them. And now they're headed eastward. So if you guys, if you have your own, if you witness it, if you record anything, this happened December 18th, 2022, around 4 to 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon. So if any of you guys get recordings of this event, I would be very interested to publish it, or put it up on the page and just share it with people, because there's something strange with this phenomenon. Whatever's going on, I've seen many things since I moved to Los Angeles that really have confirmed the UFO phenomenon is a very real part of reality. And what it is and what's at the bottom of it, I'm not wise enough. I don't have enough information to say, but I think we have a genuine mystery on our hands. That's exciting, So I just wanted to get the word out and let people know, like, hey, this is happening now. Like, if you know anybody in the Los Angeles area who gets footage of this stuff, I would love to try to capture it. He's going to try to get me his drone footage by the end of the day so I can throw it up on the channel. But this is exciting shit. If you've been following my podcast at all, the program, I talk about how the Channel Islands area, which I'm pretty close to, if you live in LA, Santa Monica, Venice Beach, any of that. I mean, the Channel Islands are really just a ferry ride away. I think it's like an hour, 2 hour ride away. And the Channel Islands, that includes St. Clement Island, Avalon Island, also known as Wrigley Gum Island or whatever, which is now known as Catalina Island. Gets massive amounts of UFO reports, lights in the sky. I published several videos of just really weird stuff. Green lights at night, hovering over the ocean, going in and out of the ocean with Catalina Island. There's a whole history of supposed giant bones that were discovered there as well that I get into on my podcast and program. So exciting shit. This stuff happens constantly, and it doesn't get covered by the mainstream news. It doesn't get any kind of traction because and I can kind of get it. I can picture being like the news guy and like getting the call, and you're like, well, is this just a wacko? Like how many people are on drugs at any given point in the Los Angeles area? That's a fair thing to point out, but there's such a storied history of this area having these sightings, and the fact that it still happens on a daily basis. I speak to locals all the time because this is a genuine interest of mine. People see shit constantly. I mean, especially near the water. There's something going on here, and it makes me think of all these like old, legends from any culture, really. The Irish Celts, even Native American legends of, the lore that goes back around here. It's really fascinating. You realize this stuff has been with us forever. Whatever the phenomenon is, once again, it could have a lot of different answers. I'm of that belief, but I think we're dealing with something here that's really beyond human comprehension, or at least at a social level, we don't have like the ability to really address it. And that bothers me more than not knowing what the answer to the mystery is. The fact that we can't, because I'm sure there's like high level government people or whoever that does look into this stuff. The Pentagon officially has a kind of modern day Project Blue Book to look into the UFO phenomenon. So there's things that are happening, but it's like, once again, how much is the public being told, how much we're being lied to, how much is there a manipulation of how they want us to perceive the alien or UFO phenomenon or any paranormal phenomenon. I think, sorry, I mean, I can get how it can sound conspiratorial in the sense like, oh, there's nothing to it to a layman. But if you look into this phenomenon long enough, you do start to go, well, if they want us, if they want us to believe in aliens and UFOs, they want us to believe it in their way, their preferred perspective of how they like, they're managing us essentially. They're the handlers to us, In fact, because I also talk about sometimes MK Ultra and the mind control stuff. A lot of what they learned, this is not just my belief, by the way, but a lot of what they learned from what we can glean from the MK Ultra stuff wasn't just a way to brainwash and control, manipulate individuals. That was part of the research as well. But a lot of it was to hack the human at the base level so that they could use that, programming or influencing or whatever at a mass scale. So it's not so much about hacking the individuals. Individuals can fall through the cracks all the time, but if you can hack the masses, then over time you can at least steer the masses in the direction that you want to, even though you're always going to have people who wake up to your bullshit, wake up to the scheme, So it's pretty crazy. My hot photo here. Thanks, girls4.xyz. I get spammed so much bullshit lately. Like, it's been next level of spamming of like, hey, I've got nudes and I got fake photo. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of funny. It's as soon as I moved to LA too. Same with the Tinder. A lot of fake Tinder accounts out here. I don't know what that's all about, but that's just the reality, I guess, of modern existence on the internet or having an email account. But yeah, if you guys see anything out of the ordinary, if you can get a hold of or know anybody who happened to have witnessed this UFO event today, I think that's pretty cool. If we could get footage of that. Like I said, I have a buddy who called this in, and it's just very exciting. I still kind of got the adrenaline rush because he's like, run outside, check to see if you can see it. I couldn't, but I trust him. He's a great friend of mine, and he's seen this kind of stuff before. He used to be in the military. I mean, he's seen some stuff, as far as like behind the curtain and knowing that like, hey, this stuff that gets hushed. And for whatever reason, it's usually people, it seems, in the Navy or connected to, water related stuff when it comes to the military encounters and stories that I've sifted through over the years. There's something about water, going back to the Catalina Island area here or Los Angeles in general. There's something about being near water or certain I don't know, whatever you want to call it, high strangeness points. I know people have used that terminology to describe it. There's just something, there's something about certain locations that have, it's like Bermuda Triangle. It's like a lot of weird shit happens in this area over and over and over again. Why is that? Is that just because of high air traffic or high boat traffic or whatever? That could be part of the explanation for some of it. But once again, it's like there's so much of this phenomenon where it's like, I think there's something more going on beneath the surface here, in this case, quite literally beneath the surface of the water, than we fully have comprehended. And who knows, maybe it's all military experimental stuff. I'm open to that too. Like I said, I'm not glued to any kind of singular answer. It's probably a multipolar answer as well. Like there's probably a lot of different explanation points I could see with maybe a general, explanation to kind of cover it up. But yeah, this is crazy stuff. I mean, the fact that stuff like this can happen over a busy, metropolis area like Los Angeles, and then nobody, in the mainstream news covers it, it really opens your eyes to how much life is filtered for us. And I can't stress that enough, like how much they filter shit out. It pisses me off as somebody who's a genuine student of nature and the world. They'll straight up just negate and lie and cover this stuff up like they have been for ages now. And most people are either too dumb or don't have enough pieces of the puzzle or information to see that there's legitimacy to this entire subject. And that's upsetting as well, because really it comes down to spending even just a cursory amount of time of looking into it, and realizing there's very legitimate, heartfelt witness accounts, but also video recordings. I mean, the evidence gets covered up a lot and subverted and doesn't get mainstream news attention. But if you look into trying to find it, even within just a couple months of trying to really dig into stuff, you can find some stuff that's pretty compelling. Maybe it won't vindicate that, we're being visited by aliens from outer space, which is not my contention, by the way. But it will at least convince you, there is some phenomenon that is causing all this interest. It's not just some mass psychosis like they tried to convince people during like the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Like, this is just everybody's on, ergot, like in the Salem witch trials or something. Like we're all just tripping out. It's like, no, there is something happening. And once again, that could be a multipolar answer, but there's something more going on than meets the eye. And I don't know, we have to get to the bottom of it somehow. So anyways, if you guys have any questions or are interested, I hope I get some more people tuning in. I always feel shitty when I do a live stream. I can't get too many. There we go. Let's get some more people in here. But yeah, it's crazy with the Strange TV stuff, because I'm trying to get more people to email in submissions. Hey, if you got clips you saw, videos you saw, covering once again this story that came in today. My buddy called me and he said that he saw these 6 UFOs flying across downtown Los Angeles. And it was just like, it's heading east. So if anybody sees any of this stuff, definitely check it out, because it's I don't know, something's going on. If you have video, if you know anybody who saw this stuff, it's pretty compelling. But like I was getting into, this whole area is a high UFO area for whatever reason. I mean, I've seen stuff in Beverly Hills. I've seen stuff when I was at the beach. Catalina Island has all these reportings, and St. Clement Island, the Channel Islands in general. The UFO, USO is just underwater submersible objects. It's a UFO that goes underwater. That's all it is. These reports are real. Something's causing these sightings. Something's behind the mystery. What it is exactly, I'm not sure. But that's why people need to look into it. We need to get to the bottom of it. But yeah, it's pretty exciting that this phenomenon can still happen in these heavy metropolis areas. And it just doesn't get covered enough by the mainstream news. That's why I want you guys to share this stuff, share the videos and everything. My buddy's going to get me the drone footage by the end of the day that has the recordings of these 6 UFOs, if we can anyway, because I really want to share that with you guys. But yeah, if you guys know anybody else who has witnessed or recorded this, definitely send it in, because it's pretty exciting that this stuff still happens. And I've seen stuff several times in my life. Didn't for the first half of my life, so I get why people don't believe in it, don't think it's possible. But until it happens to you and you're forced to like really decide what you believe, you know what I mean? It can shake you. So if you guys have any of your own stories, any of your own, even just opinions on what's going on with all this stuff, because Los Angeles does get a lot of heavy air traffic, but LA County gets the most UFO sightings throughout of any county in the United States. And it's mostly, people, as far as UFO reports, they're usually called in by people who are like dog walkers or cigarette smokers. Anybody who's going outside frequently and might stare up at the sky for a second, contemplating life. That's usually the kind of person who ends up seeing this kinds of stuff, and or camera operators, because there was some show, I forget what it was, on History Channel that caught these UFOs when they were doing drone recordings. And interestingly enough, my buddy was out doing drone footage recording when he sighted this stuff. So I just wanted to get the word out. I don't want to go over it too many times, or repeat it and bore it to death with you guys, but definitely look more into it. And if you have your own sightings, your own footage, especially your own firsthand accounts or stories, please send them in to strangetv@protonmail.com. That's strangetv@protonmail.com. Or, of course, you can also really comment on any of the videos and just let me know, hey, I saw this crazy thing once, or here's a video link, or here's a video or whatever, photo of this thing I saw, because we want to start sharing that stuff more. So anyways, thank you guys for joining me. I'll be checking you out soon, and stay tuned for new episodes of the podcast. Later.